Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Tango, tango, tango. Hey, I love our little intro, It's so cool. It's really like, it's hip. Am you said what?
Yeah, it is. It's nice.
It's pretty cool. It's got the little mothership and bust them Afro myths, and it's just pretty cool. So what's happening, good people? How you guys doing out there in these social media streets? That's right. If you are on Facebook and YouTube, then you are in the right location at the right time. You have tuned in to a planet, a Pluto pseudo. We are talking about America's favorite podcast about Afro textured hair, but this particular podcast is specifically for the licensed professionals, like the educators, the salon owners, the students, and then of course your hair care aficionados. So if you're one of those people that's like, I just want to talk about the intelligent side of hair, I don't want to hear no more put some peanut butter and jelly, all these issues that's going on, with black hair. It's like, we tired of talking about that. We want to have something new. So that's what this podcast is all about. Cheryl is my PNC, my partner in cosmetology, and AKA the Hair Oracle. And so our goal here on this platform is really to address the issues in the from the like a professional and educational perspective. And then of course, we want you guys to chime in because the state of black hair is like, what is happening to the black beauty industry? I just can't get a grasp on what is happening. Now, tonight's podcast is all about the cost of inequities. Last week, we talked about the whole buying black and the whole black power, and so of course Cheryl always takes us on another tangent. You know how she goes, it's never what you think it's going to be about. And so tonight we need to discuss, if we buy black, why are we here? Why are we in this peculiar place where black women and men and children are still very unhappy and even more confused? I think today's generation is so confused about their hair and what to do to it. And is this a part, or is this a consequence of the inequities? Is this what happens when you have all of these things that have happened? And so tonight we're going to talk about that. And again, if you did not know, our book of the month is by Jacqueline Battalora, and it is called Birth of a White Nation. And so, our book club is our book club. Our book is it's pretty dope, Cheryl. I actually put them in order. So if you are new to this platform and you just love, I need a good bibliography. I need you guys to source up. I just want to better your conversation at the table, in the office room, at cosmetology school, the barbershop. Our first book was Styling Jim Crow. So this book is an absolute must. Sorry, my internet, it's like really janky. Okay, so Styling Jim Crow is by Julia Kirk Blackwelder, and so this is a must. If you can't get any book off of this list, you must get this book, Cheryl's book, my book, and her dad's book. Right? Everything else is negotiable, but this baby right here, you want to add this book to your arsenal. Doppelganger helps you make sense all of it in modern day times. So say you like, I don't like history. I don't want to hear no more about no Civil War. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Then Doppelganger, Naomi Klein, she takes it to another level. So you can extrapolate, like, what the hell is going on around us? Then Doppelganger will give you that. If you just kind of like that narrative of blacks just crabs in a bucket, we just didn't get our education. You know the whole routine. If you're for the status quo, then Brainwashed by Tom Burrell will definitely give you something to think about. If you're talking along those lines, but as Cheryl puts it, her critique of this book is that as African Americans, we just need to talk to ourselves a tad bit differently. Not that what he's saying doesn't have some merit, but Tom Burrell that's a great book. Okay, I didn't finish it, but it is pretty good. This right here is running neck and neck with Styling Jim Crow. Hey, I'm telling y'all. These two white girls, Julia Blackwelder,
they did the thing. They did it. They did it.
Baby, if y'all ain't got these two books, we like, back up, boy. Okay, this book is off the Richter scale. All right, okay. And then tonight we are on to Birth of a White Nation, the invention of white people and its relevance today. And this book is very befitting as we are kicking off our new year. The theme for the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel right here is all about the year of the truth. So everything that we're going to be talking about on both platforms are all about the truth. And if that's what you're looking for, that's pure and unadulterated, then you know what? You are most definitely on the right platform. Our platform is very interactive, right, Cheryl?
Very.
So we don't know everything. We welcome all disagreements. Please, if you don't like what we have to say, no problem. Drop it in the chat, either post the live or during the live. Guess what? Because we ain't scared. And sometimes, you know what? We can agree to disagree. And everybody, has an opinion. They're like cell phones, right? Everybody got one. So feel free to drop your opinion in the chat. You cannot offend Cheryl and I as long as you don't, just say some stuff towards other people. We just want you guys, as we say, please be kind online. But you really can't offend me and Cheryl. Somebody put in the chat they hated us. Remember that, Cheryl? They said, I hate this channel. And that's okay. Let's come on and watch us. Because sometimes what you think about that, Cheryl? When people be like, I hate Ladosha and Cheryl. They
Well, come on, and we'll break it down, and maybe we'll take you, like a fifth grader, and maybe you just need to explain.
Yeah. And then you know what? If we wrong, guess what? Then you've taught us something new. Okay, because we don't know everything. We just know what we know. And that's just how it goes now. Oh, they coming through. Y'all come on through. All right. They want some shout outs. Okay. All right. Here, a few shout outs. We got my ATLBFF is in the Heezy. I'll be there. It's going down. All right. It's going to be happening one day, someday. I don't know when, but one day I'll be in Atlanta. I don't know when. Okay. What's up, Head Full of Hair? Ebony Bees. We just love to see you back. Our cousin, Theo. Hey, Theo. Yo, I need to get with you. I would like to send you a whole package of my hair care products. I love the work that you do. I kind of feel like we style hair the same way. So hit me up in the chat on Facebook, and I would like to send you a whole collection of the right hair care products, and I want your feedback. I hope you really like them, and you'll be able to just pick something. Alisa, I see you in the house. How you doing? What's up, Varno Harris? Ask a Black Dad. All right, how you doing? All right, then we got LB. LB was in the chat with me. My son made some chili. If y'all see me going like this, hey, let me tell you how sweet my son. Don't I have a really sweet son?
You do. CJ is the man. He is
my son. I'm just little. I'm a mama, okay? I'm not gonna bragging about my pooski, okay? My son, okay, so he bought me a truck out of just nowhere. He just said, "Hey, mom, come to the door." And I went outside, brand new, paid for, everything. Got me insurance. What kind of a kid would do that for their mom? Not bad for a baby mama from the hood. You know what I'm saying? but last night. I'm an old school hoochie mama. He know it. Oh, but I reformed, guys. He knows it. He knows it. But last night he came upstairs and he had made some homemade chili for my brother and I. We're roommates. And so he know we don't be doing right. He like, I fixed you and Uncle Shan a nice, some chili so y'all can stop eating out. Like, oh, okay, CJ. And so sure he is. Y'all ain't trying to be funny, but Cheryl can tell you he is just a really good kid.
Doll baby.
Yeah. So what's up, Luana? It's always good to see you in the chat. Eileen, I see you from South Carolina. We love having you in the chat. All right. So Theo, you said you down with it. Ernisa, what's happening? Y'all come on in. Look at this, Cheryl. They just coming on through.
What's up?
And we appreciate you guys because these are some pretty tough topics. It's a lot of podcast platforms you guys could be listening to. And so Cheryl and I, we really appreciate you because these are not the easiest topics to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you guys. Rashida, you said you love CJ is the best. Yes. Rashida knows, Rashida be over our house. CJ he spoils Rashida too. Okay. So anywho, he'd be like, okay, here come the girls. All right. So we're going to have a wonderful topic tonight as we talk about the cost of inequities, but we got to get real, right? You ready? Okay. And Theo, you ain't got to pay for no postage. All right. It's all on me. Don't be like, I ain't gonna send you COD.
They don't even do COD no more.
They don't do it no more. Oh, okay. Cause hey, Cheryl.
Oh my God. COD. Come on now. Come on.
I know. Sure, like they don't do.
Why you gotta age us? Come on.
Am I aging myself? Does anybody even know what COD means? If you know what COD means, drop that in the chat. Let's see who old up in here. Do you know what COD means? All right, let's see. Who can tell us what COD means? If you tell us what COD, I was gonna say the first person who drops it in the chat I will send them a complimentary bottle of my everyday miracle treatment. Rashida was the first one to come through. So we know your ass is old. Cash on delivery. All right. Oh, it's some old heads up in here. Eileen, cash on delivery. All right. I see you. Verno, he like cash on delivery. You guys, I'm telling you right now, they old up in here, Cheryl. All right. So, Theo, I got you covered. All right. Rashida, you will also get a complimentary bottle of everyday miracle treatment. At least, I was here first. Okay. I got you, Lisa. You can come to Cleveland. She live in Atlanta. So you just come to the salon, Lisa. I got you. Okay. All right. So let's get real right quick. Sure. You're going to like these too. So we're going to get real before we get into our topic. And our reels, I pulled them off of TikTok. All right. Now, this one is about a minute, but you guys are going to enjoy this. So here we're going to get real when white people style black people's hair. Y'all ready? Sure, like this is going to be, okay, we're going to get real when a white guy styles a black girl's hair. All right, here we go. About 1 minute. Here we go.
I wanted to swoop.
We're going to get swooped. That's why, hold on. You're not letting me finish. You just messing up. That's why y'all gotta come. When you come in my chair, you gotta wear a mask and some blindfolds, because you can't look until we're done. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see if I can put on a blindfold.
Hold on.
I'm gonna put on a blindfold because I don't want to look.
Why?
Well, until you're done.
Okay, hold on.
Is this how it's supposed to look?
Yes. You want it to look fuller, because right now it look like you ain't got none. You know what I'm saying?
So it's supposed to look like this?
Yeah, just wait, honey. You wanted to swoop in the front too, right?
But why I don't got the swoop?
I'm about to swoop it. You don't see me swooping it?
Oh, my God.
Oh, honey, I almost got your ID.
I'm about to shit
Oh,
out.
that is cute.
So why ain't it swooping?
Now, you going to take that up with God while I don't swoop, honey. I'm just trying.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
He said, take that up with God. She said, why are they swooping? Why they now? I'm not saying that's how white people style black people's hair. But Cheryl, tell the truth. Sometimes white people really they really be struggling with the hair.
I don't even want my mouth to move.
Okay, so we're not stereotyping, but that's very real. Okay, the struggle is real when you're trying to style some hair that you just. They like, she said all them passes and they still can't get to the principal's office. Yeah, and he did. He swore he was black. You know, he had to, but God go, you know what I'm saying? He had that black aspect. You had to give it to him, though. He was good, all right? Okay, one last get real. And that's what we're going to call this get real funny, all right? All right, we're going to get real funny, all right? So here we go. Our last one. Don't blink because you might miss it, all right? So get real funny. Here we go.
So growing up, my mama, her biggest fear, I'm from the South, her biggest fear is me to blow up and marry a white woman.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just my internet, guys. You know, you got to wait for the green light.
So growing up, my mama, her biggest fear, I'm from the South, her biggest fear is me to blow up and marry a white woman. Couldn't do what you do, sir. Respectfully, she wouldn't let me live like that. But she never said it. She's like, let me tell you something, baby. You can marry whoever you want to marry. That ain't none of my business between you and the good Lord. But let me tell you something. She can't use my comb. Don't bring her home.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I love it.
Yeah, if you can't use my comb, don't bring her home. What y'all think about that? Was the I'll be up all night, okay? When I have a boyfriend, I don't know what y'all gonna do because these reels ain't gonna be here because I'm gonna be doing something else at night. But for now, I'm telling y'all right now, I have so much fun scouring TikTok and looking for these. But he says if she can't use that comb, don't bring her home. What y'all think about that one?
I love it.
You love it?
I just love the rhyme. Comb home. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness.
That's right, guys. So anyhow, most parents today, they really don't care what color your girl is. You know, just make sure, you know what, that they can use that comb, all right? Okay, so let's get ready to hop into the topic. And it is all about the inequities in the Black beauty industry. Mm-hmm. So here it is. It's 2024. It's a new year. It's a new day. It's a dawning of a new era in the beauty industry where you have all of these Black developers in the world of hair care. I tried to kind of Google how many hair care companies that are Black owned, and I couldn't even get an answer. But what we do see, I couldn't. I Googled it and it just wouldn't come up. But what we do see is this thing that I will call build it and they will go and sell it. All right. So if the purpose of having a Black business or being Black owned is supposed to really help build the Black community in various ways. So since your dad owned a company, tell us some ways outside, because most people only know that companies sell hair care products. So what other ways or what should a Black enterprise or in hair care business, what other things could they be doing, right? for the community or maybe even the economy when it comes to having these Black-owned businesses before they're acquired. So walk us kind of through, because your dad didn't just go door to door selling, California curl retail products, correct?
Yeah. There's a big social aspect, right? And so let's just say, as starting out as a barber, right? I think let's just doing community outreach, because salons and barbershops are so different. They're coming there for so many other reasons than just to get their hair done. They're coming there to also catch up on local events. They're there to meet other people. And in my case, my dad had the barbershop and the salon and a restaurant and a beauty supply connected.
He had what? I remember no restaurant now. Hold on, Naomi. What's up? Sean always throwing some shit into the story. So I know about the supply store.
Right. It was a beauty supply.
So let me write this down. Your dad had
a restaurant in the beauty supply, and then the salon, and then the barbershop. So it was all jointed. So it was like a joining room, hotel room. You just go in one part to the next part. It was arranged.
And a newspaper, right?
Yeah, the newspaper.
A radio station?
Yeah, that was on the other side of the building. It was a two-story building.
Salon, restaurant, beauty supply, newspaper, radio station, and distribution.
And then the lab, and then the warehouse, and then you have trucks.
Lab,
come get it, pick it up, and then it goes all over around the country. And in that complex, I think Black-owned businesses, in terms of how we communicate with our consumers, and it's trust. And I think that we put making money before the trust factor.
Okay.
I have a friend that says it more eloquently about, before there's wealth gaps, there's trust gaps, because trust gaps create wealth gaps, because you're not maintaining your connection. You're not having sample. And the funny thing is about the pop-up is old. We always had sample parties. They came out of the Tupperware parties and the macrame parties of the 70s, 70s, and 80s. But they all had gatherings to try products and stuff. So there is, I think, a weakening of the old school, probably, just that. And then that's how, once those kind of ties and that woven congruentness that you have in your community, and then it leaves you susceptible to being infiltrated by other races of people who are just there to make a dollar.
Now, let me just say this. Everybody's in the chat. The chat's on fire. It's looking pretty good. I'm just going to repeat this, because I'm a salon owner, okay? And when we think about these inequities, these things that are happening, and that's, of course, due to that structural, because that's what inequities kind of fall under, is this structural racism. So you mean to tell me during a time when structural racism was probably just really kicking in the field in the, full mode, your dad was able to have a salon, a restaurant. He had a distribution. He had a newspaper, a radio station. He also had a beauty supply. He had distributorship. He had a lab, and he had a warehouse. All right. So that's 9 different income sources. So these were other jobs for a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. So he was able to kind of, because they always say it's that median in the middle. So your dad was able to kind of address that in the middle. Is that, when you think about these inequities, right?
Mm-hmm.
A person like me, opening up a small business. Now, I ain't about to tell no lie, y'all. I am not about to try to rock what Dr. Willie Morrow has done. But with your father's 9, let's say 9 entities, would that be like something that other entrepreneurs could aspire to? I mean, I think about some other stuff, but Jesus, that's a lot. So first of all, is that too, did he set the bar too high? Because I don't know another company who's done that. Do you guys know?
Now you guys got to remember, and this is very important. This is one of the reasons why we created the Relaxer Advocates. Because when you are preserving legacy, it allows the what we can do to be connected with what we have done. And the bar was not just raised for Mr. Morrow. You have to remember, John Johnson and George Johnson, they're all in their own buildings. S.B. Fuller, all in their own buildings. Madame Malone in her own building. The Walker Theater. You have to understand, this is what we did. This is not exceptional behavior.
I feel like a sucker, y'all. So I'm up here like, that's impossible. And Cheryl is teaching us right now, right here on America's favorite podcast about textured hair, that was the norm. And we think just
the Bronners had their building, that and they had the McBride and Cormac Cottrell. These people were not, and and then that just, we're far from it.
Well, because I don't know. Are you guys familiar with the Brat? She and her wife. They have I don't know the name of the business, right? But they have this really big hair care business. And they were on, I think it was Instagram. And they were trying to buy this really huge, like an airport hangar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this story. And they were just trying to find this place where they could distribute all of these products, right? And all I kept thinking was, dang, like, how they gonna sell all them products? I sell mine out of my salon. I have a company that does. I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I was watching them just go from place to place, and finally, they found a space in Atlanta where they could warehouse and then distribute all of their stuff around the world. And I thought that was the biggest feat like ever. I mean, I was like, wow. I was like, and I'm not knocking the Brat. Don't get it twisted, okay? But man, that's like a drop in a bottle of water compared to 9 entities that your dad had was able to do. So and so here's Verno. I was just going there. So, and that's going to take us to our next point. I got a clip. And so he's saying getting startup capital is the struggle for Black entrepreneurs now. And maybe that's why they're selling out. That's going to be our next one. But right now, I got to show a clip because I did not know this. And then Cheryl, I want you to just kind of take Ask a Black Dad and think about what he just said about getting startup. And I find that I'm like, wow, getting startup is hard. But look at this right here. Let me just show you guys this clip. I'm going to go over to YouTube. Here we go right here. And I'm just going to show a couple of seconds of it. All right, guys? Here we go.
Y'all can expand your screen.
Just over 150 years ago, this was money for almost half of America. On multiple bills were people picking cotton, enslaved people. These slaves didn't just represent wealth in America, they were wealth. By 1863, they were worth over $3 billion.
All right, Cheryl. I don't know. So first of all, I never knew slaves was on money. Did anybody know that? Stop laughing at me. I'm for real. Come on, wake up, chat. I know y'all rocking with me. Cheryl, you knew slaves were on money?
That's the first time I've really understood that the I guess that would make sense because the South and but I don't think it was created to buy other goods other than probably cotton and doing other things of that nature. I think
But
it was
in that
it wasn't
exchange.
right. It wasn't a federal thing.
Okay, all right. So here we are on this money representing wealth, right? But then you look at here we go again. But then you're looking at Ask a Black Dad saying that we had getting capital is a struggle for us. Now, considering we created so much wealth for the country, how did we get into the inequity of what he just said, where nobody wants to invest, but they'll buy? What is that about?
And I'm going to say this, and this may be a little long-winded, and I don't mean to be
This is tough.
artist. But let me just say
this is a tough topic. This is a tough topic. So
right, it is, and because there's so many other conversations inside this conversation, and then your question. But the reason why entrepreneurs have such a problem today,
excuse me, African American entrepreneurs.
Right. And let me just say this. They would have a tough time no matter what color they were if they were going to stay in black hair care. Okay. Now, and the reason why, first of all, let's just say within the last 40 years, or let's 30 years. Let's take 24 to 20, and then from 20 to 90, right?
Okay.
20 years, right?
Yeah, correct.
Right. No, that's 30 years. The brands that you are talking about, you can't really have any economic stake in an industry that is now a little septic at this point. The industry is not built for the entrepreneurship as Comer Cottrell or Mr. Gardner or Mr.
Really? You don't think the natural hair movement?
No, because you gave away. Now you have to remember the Y2K natural does not have investable businesses anymore. So you can't get capital because what are you investing in? You're investing in the wave of the trend. Once the trend starts moving away and you have so much saturation and you have so many Me Too brands, there is not enough technology to take advantage of that puts space between you and them, or a new brand versus an old brand. There's no space. There's no new chemical agent, or there's no new salon professional service.
But wouldn't the demand from the consumers who want all of these new like custards and creams and jellies because one company can't?
There's no technology. There's nothing. Anybody can make it.
Don't you guys hold up? Don't you guys in the chat feel that the natural hair movement was trying to create a new staple like Royal Crown? Now you can still get Royal Crown. So you don't think Uncle Funky's is going to be around in 40 years?
No, because you have the health food. You have to understand. Dax or Crown Royal is petrolatum based,
Okay.
wax cosmetic based. The Y2K natural products that they can't get capital for because they're not investable is based on food. Those products are now, so the ingredients to make those products from 2000 until now, they are so ubiquitous, they can get, everybody can ascertain them. Everybody can get them. They're just mixing the shit at home. They're just trying to expand. One of the difficulties that L'Oreal had with Carol's daughter is because you can't create a capital structure for a brand that you can't expand because it's based on recipes.
So what would make
Recipes can't not be turned into formulas. There's no technology to base it on. It's just sugar scrub. These are ingredients that are in the buying habits of common people. There's no professionalism to it. That's why they can't get capital, because it's not the movement is not backed by real differentiation from one brand to the next. Mael is oil. It's just low grade. It's not anything proprietary. It's unfortunate that Y2K would put all their effort into something that doesn't move the chain. They created a term called mixology. The reason why it's mixology, because it's based on recipes, not based on...
if you're in hip hop world, we beg to differ. Where are my hip hoppers at? Mixologists mean turntables. Anywho, I digress. So let me say this. So if what you're saying is true, and I keep looking at your statement, Askadet, we're getting started, startup capital is the struggle.
No, it's not a struggle. That's an unrealistic struggle. It doesn't really exist.
It does, sure, because when I was
no. Let me finish. 100 years ago, what money were your predecessors and ancestors starting these companies with?
Their own.
Why?
Because to his point, I'll pop it up here again. Because they could not get startup.
Johnson, they didn't go to banks. My dad had a bubbling clientele before he went. See, he had a buyer. The buyer bought the next pot of money to build the company. You cannot do it the other way that you guys are trying to do it.
Oh, snap. Get it going, Cheryl. Let me sit back. Keep talking. Okay.
So therefore, the black hair care, the reason why in Harlem Renaissance and between the 20s and 30s, those black men were very wealthy. Those barbershops and beauty salons funded Portermans, they funded the Negro League, they funded jazz clubs. These people were rolling in dough. You can't tell me that we're getting our ass kicked and our foremothers didn't have shit. They didn't have social media. They didn't have anything that we have. Our industry is not, the structure is in our, we don't have the community. We don't have the congruence. You keep having black people keep spreading and wanting to integrate. You have the aisles. Now your product is over here because you got black folks that want to be loved by white folks. You want them to be, you don't have a black hair care industry anymore. You don't have the industrial complex set up for the axe a dad. It's the structure is not there to able to be capitally structured and to be invested in. You don't have trends. You can't invest in another custard. You can't invest in another act. You don't have a hairstyle to go with the activator. You're just trying to sell activator. You're just trying to sell lotion. And black hair care is wired and funded and and finance through the salon. The professional world, it's an industry. It has brackets and they're all linked together and they work like a system called what? An industry. You don't have an industry because the Y2K gave 30 to 100 billion dollars to the over-the-counter market in Walmart and Target, and you gave it away. So now the only thing left in black hair care is the professional market now. So now you're going to have to go back to professional use only just to have the increase of cash and capital and valuation. Now you're going to have to go back to the salon part, and then we're going to have to create new technology and new tools and new things and new conferences. It's going to have to be revamped. We don't even have great magazines.
But you know what, sure, it's kind of like, I'm with you, Ask a Dad. It's like you went back to go forward, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you think of like, let's say you go to school or you go to a workshop, like, okay, you go to a boot camp or anything that just learn about business. They always tell you to like think of the actual business, mm-hmm. and that you're going to provide what, guys? A need. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I'm asking Dad, you're going back to your trust gaps, create wealth gaps.
Well, put it this way, guys. Okay, if you guys can Google it just while you guys are on the chat. How big is the wealth gap? I know we talk about it, but how big is it? 228 years the last time I looked. Right? You guys can Google it.
I'm Googling it. I got you. Here we go. Hold on. Let me come on back. Hold on, guys. Present. All right, here we go. How big is the wealth gap? Here you go.
It should just be a number. Right?
In the third quarter of 2023, 66.6% of the total wealth in the United States was owned by the top 10% earners, and compared to the lowest 50% of earners who only, Jesus.
Well, right, but guys, that's not the number I'm talking about. I want to talk about years. What is the wealth gap? How many years would it take to catch up to the median age of the top upper middle class?
How many years would it take to
the black America to catch up to white America, or whatever, however you. It should be the last time I looked, I think it was 228 years.
Oh. Oh, Jesus, Cheryl. You know what, Cheryl? Hey, y'all hit that little thing at y'all screen. She said that little square right there. You guys can make it big. You guys see that? Let me just show that one more again. Cheryl, well, y'all can see it right there for yourself. It would take 200. I got to open that. I can't even talk. What is this? What do you mean?
It means it would take 228 years if black people to raise and get to the level of the white upper middle class, probably middle class.
Well, let me just say, that's all that article says. I'm with you. Head full of hair. That's crazy AF. I don't even know what to say. Y'all know it's hard for Key Lolo to get lost for words. Jesus. And then my brother, Sherian Smith, says, and that's if the economy stays the same. So the cost.
Now, this is what I want, the reason why I brought that up, right? And because we think it's harder to get funding today when your ancestors only started their companies with $2 or $3, and that's because they had customers. So you want to create a brand first and then get customers. You can't do it that way.
Damn, Gina.
So I brought that up to say.
Teach that, Cheryl. You do know they teaching this stuff in business schools.
Now, so we're going to do some business right now, and we're going to count, okay? And so when we were reading Tom Burrell's book, this is one of the reasons why we have to see things differently and stop saying things like it's hard to get capital, right? And not to say that it's not been a reality, and I'm not saying that. But what I want you guys to make sure that if we're going to be investors and economic geniuses, if we're going to be economic geniuses like we were brought to this country as, because of course we got hit in the ass with a book and now we can't count, okay? So my point is that I want you to, you guys understand Mansa Musa, right? You guys have heard of the richest man. If he would have been alive, he would still be the richest man in the world, right? Ever lived. The richest man who ever lived. He's actually from the actual poorest country in the world, Mali. Anyway, but it has taken 400 years, right? It has taken 400 years of an advantage. Europe has advantage itself within the last 500 years, right? So if you can count that in 2017, 2018, when they announced that Mansa Musa is the richest person that ever lived, that means that approximately, with all of the advantages, with all the 400 years of slavery, within the last 1,000 years, like the last 800 years probably, it has taken 7 European males, 7 white males, 1 Arab, maybe 1 Indian, and the rest are all white, to match 1 African man. So that means that, let's say, you take 228 years from 1375, which is about 900 and some odd years. He lived 900 years ago, right?
I guess, yeah.
Right. He was the emperor in the Mansa of West Africa. Anyway, that
right.
portion. But my point is when you use our 228 years, given we were enslaved and Jim Crowed, and then all of the other subsequent issues. But in 2018, you take 2018 from 900 years, you still have 500 years left. So when you talk about the wealth gap, white people still have 500 years left and have not caught 1 black man's wealth. Not 1. It takes 7 of them to equal 1 African. One. And so just to understand, when you count math and you understand wealth, Europe has not caught 1 black African. 1. And you still have, you take away our 228, they still got 500, 600 years left. And that just goes to power of our resources. Our resources is our hair, our image, our blackness, what we do, what we eat, what we listen to, while we dress, what we do. All of that shit is based on, the world is based on that. The issue is that when it started to slip out of industry, once everything began to leak out, then you don't have a complex. You don't have anywhere that the young man that Mr. Harris said, you don't have the relationships, you don't have the companies, you don't have the distribution, you don't have the marketing, you don't have the education, you don't have the retail markets anymore, you don't have You don't have what George Johnson, John Johnson, and Fashion Fair, and Willie Morrow, and the Bronner brother, and the Gardner. You don't have it there. It's not there anymore. It's now, guess where? Y2K gave it away. It's at Target. It's in Walmart. It's in CVS. It's in the grocery stores. And guess what we said? So it's a payoff to be commercial. It's a payoff. But Black Hair Care, when it was wired through, and see, all our maintenance products was in retail in the 60s, 70s, 80s. What did Beth Bailey tell you? Our products began to be in commissaries. Then it went into international markets. But the companies were Black men and women. They controlled it. And in the United States, it was at Empire. It was at all of these Black beauty supplies. It was a syndicate. And we ran it like a syndicate. We ran it like a cartel. It was enclosed until you have, the mid 90s, and then you have the 2000 season. And unfortunately, the Y2K generation sold it, the retail, to be on white shelves. Let's just say it the way it happened. That's what happened. We wanted, and we wanted white folks to say, oh, we need more Black founders. You was already Black. So history and wealth building, you must have your information and your education properly, or you're going to destroy. The first generation builds it, the second generation spends it, and the third generation destroys it. So
I don't know about you. I mean, come on, Ronchina. Sir, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm glad you let me know that. Wait a minute, Cheryl. I got something for you. Hold on. Where's it at? Here we go.
What's up, Rashida?
I mean, where'd it go? There we go. She dropping bombs, Rashida. Let me hit it again. I hope it'll play again. There we go. She dropping them all over the place, man. She dropping the bombs. I mean, I hear this jumping off over here. Wait a minute. We got some new sound effects up in here.
Let me tell you, our people are the richest, baddest people on the planet. And as the words of Dr. Claude Anderson would say, you made everybody in every inch of this naked earth. You guys made them rich. It's just time to make yourself rich. And we got to just understand an industrial complex is for that reason. And the military complex, it ain't no leaks. And it ain't no entry points. Whoever's in it, creates it, builds it, they lock themselves in.
Wow.
The Korean beauty supply, they lock each other in. You cannot infiltrate that system. You ain't got no relationships. They say, who are you? Who are you? They don't even sell to you. And now up until the last 20 years, now you have drop shipping and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, the powerhouse of China and India and Pakistan now is a player. Nigeria hopefully will be a big player. The United States is obviously one of the biggest buyers of the world's exports. But what gross national product do we have? Or gross domestic product? What do we have? Our image, our hair. But we don't now. We traded it just to be on a shelf.
Well, you know what, guys? You can help change the narrative and ask people to stop trading our image, get us out of that market. All you have to do is do this right now. Yes, Cheryl says go ahead on and hit the thumbs up button. You guys have been rocking it out with us in the chat for close almost an hour. And so Cheryl has mesmerized us. It's funny how you've mesmerized us with the truth, right? Because this is the year, of the truth. But when you hear about the high cost of inequities, we do hear the usual rhetoric. Now I gotta say rhetoric, right? Ask a Dad. That Ask a Dad is saying what he posted, which is like, they just won't give us that opportunity, right? But they're also saying, and you kind of spoke to this a little bit, that one of the problems is that they won't invest in us. They won't lend us the money, but then just speak a little bit more about the advancement. All right, because here's the thing. When you look at the way Black hair care is right now, it really seems like everybody is in awe of all of these puddings, these custards, these creams, and you're saying it's not going to last, right?
Well, it's not built for the manufacturing process. You have to remember now. Think about it.
Can I pause you 1 second? So why would they buy it, guys? If they know Miel Organics, Shea Moisture, and Carol's Daughter, those are the top three, right? These three companies, if they know what you're saying, why would they pay those three women? Well, her and her husband. I'm sorry, Miel. I think her husband got some of the money too. Why would they give them that kind of money if what you're saying is true?
Well, I don't know if they give them all that money at once, but think about it.
What you talking about, Willis?
It is when you still have them in the operations or maybe the date or whatever, and it's operated maybe over there. And what they're saying is it's managed, financed, right? And they give it so much over time. What I'm saying to you is that the cost of a customer acquisition, right? The cost of customer acquisition is expensive. The cost of marketing is expensive. So if I could pay for, let's just say, I want all those 250 or 1 million followers.
All right.
And if there was a customer acquisition for each customer, let's say that I do in advertising is $3. So $3 times what? 1 million people is about 7 million. So if I can give you a couple of $1 million over a span of time, I've just wiped away my $7 million marketing budget because I've acquired your brand. So it's not about they love the brand so much. These companies want access to the followers.
Mr. Abdullah, come get me. Style us down. Come help me, Ebony. Y'all, hair savant. I'm stripping. I'm falling. I can't get up. What? Cheryl, I didn't brush my bag. I'm hyperventilating. What are you saying?
What I'm saying is that's one of the reasons why the argument in the relaxer lawsuit, it doesn't make sense when you acquire a company. You acquire a company not because you're in love. You have more muscle and more muscle and more access to technology than they do. It's the customer that they want. It's not the fact that they're in love with the product. It was the customer, Carol's Daughter customer, that they wanted. It's already, do you know how much it costs to already customer acquisition, to acquire a customer?
Do y'all know I feel like crying? That's too much truth right now, Cheryl. It's so treacherous out here. They're just treacherous out here in these
business. You really got to think about how they think about business. People don't think about shit the way we be thinking about it. And so what I'm saying to Mr. Harris, ask Dad, you really have to understand how the science of an Annie Malone. She created the agency and then the education and then gave you the box of, she was the first modern Avon, and it was for Black women before Avon. We had to have us as a customer. We had us as a customer. When you went to church, you can look at it in the $2 in a Dream, Madam C.J. Walker movie. You only went to college for 4 reasons. You went to college for 4 reasons: doctor, teacher, lawyer, nurse. Your ass was supposed to open up a goddamn business if you wasn't going in them damn fields. Your ass need to go in stores and butter making, sewing and tailoring and wine, and you're supposed to be in business and open up a business.
Hence Booker T. Washington.
And when you look in the movie, right, in the church, right above the pulpit, there's a wooden board where they had the tallies. You don't see them much now, but they're in the churches. That were to keep up with who was doing what. And the church preacher said, y'all go buy this. So you had a built-in market. The bank in 1920, Maggie Lena Walker, the first bank Black woman to really have a financial institution in this country. She gave the bank loans, but she gave it based on a customer. You got customers. We start brands because we passion. That's not how you do that. A customer. You have to have a customer. Annie Malone used to say, let me ask you a question, Mr. Harris. Let me ask you a question.
Are you still in the chat, Mr. Harris? I'm still with us.
To ask a dad. The point is this. The first time you go do marketing, if you did not go upstairs, downstairs, next door to your neighbors, you have first broken the first law of marketing. And that's why you need capital. Because you want to go way over to the next county instead of knocking on the door to your next door neighbor. And that's the science that Annie Malone taught. You have to be able to.
I'm going to tell you what she's saying. I went to see Chuck D give a speak at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And when he talked about the success of Public Enemy, right? And when hip hop came out, it was just so many ways to deliver your skills. Obviously, I'm a true hip hop head, okay? So he said, to your point, he knew that in his, literally like in his building per se, his community, everybody else was rocking the mic like this, you know what I'm saying? But he put his hands over the mic to make himself sound like Death Row, What a Brother Knows. And that was his community, that he was speaking that whole, once again, back is the incredible, Rhymanable, you know what I'm saying? So he knew that particular sound was for those particular people. So he really wasn't trying to sell to people in Cleveland. But of course, when we heard it, we was like, break the noise. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God, it even worked in the music industry. So what you're saying is very
well, it's the power of
paradoxical. It's paradoxical to the way they teach you about business, because I'm a salon owner and I'm telling you, I don't know about you, hair savant, but I'm thinking about my business a hell of a lot different in these past 20 minutes, because I was feeling like the really small fish, fucking tadpole. I really was. I was like an amoeba.
It's the power. Big corporate companies know when they go into more of the Black cultural environments in cities and townships, they start beginning to understand that the corporate wide companies, regardless if they're on TV or not, they don't have the power of the local dollar. They don't have the power of the local influence. Because one of the things that I understood when I moved to New York and I opened up a product boutique with just 3 chairs. I mean, it was literally the size of like maybe 300, 400 square feet. But I had the influence of the local control over the customer. I had arrested them. It was right in front of a bus stop. And so the corporate companies know that you can't beat the local dollar because the person in the neighborhood and communities have control over the minds of the people who are passing them. And my point is that, sir, Mr. Harris, or to ask a dad, you don't need the capital for that portion of your business. What you need the capital for is the expansion, not the core. And because you have the social media and the email and the direct marketing with email clients like MailChimp or whatever the case may be, or you have private Facebook pages, you don't even need a website now. The point is that the tried and true connection that S.B. Fuller had, Rose Meadow Morgan, Cardozo sisters, Garrett Morgan, or whoever they were, Bronner, in that local market between 20 miles south, east, west, or north, that's more money, Mr. Harris, that you can spend in a year, and it accumulate over time, and you will be a very wealthy, rich man.
Hold on.
Very good brand. How many times do you guys watch the Food Network? They say, and you go to that special township and you get that Heartwater cornbread in that particular city, and that person is rich because they have invested in the township capital structure instead of trying to do statewide and national. Sometimes it just doesn't pay. Be king in your city.
And all right. Okay. Now hold on. Now, Mr. Afro says the world has changed, Cheryl, and we are in a new dynasty. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Mr. Abdullah. But he's saying,
well, put it this way. And I get what the brother is probably alluding to, and I absolutely agree. But infection virus infects locally. It doesn't start wide. It starts locally. And then it becomes, what do you guys call it? Viral. Yeah, that part.
We all like this.
That's the law of averages. That's the law of what we call momentum. It starts at a nucleus. San Diego is Mr. Morrow's legacy and his nucleus. That money that he generated for all of those 217 jobs consistently for 30, 40 years, that happened on the local market. And now, just think if he would have done it now, he would have had the Square store. He would have had Esty. But we have to give it to our ancestors. See, when y'all close to that cotton sack and you say y'all ain't going back on that plantation, your ass you do everything you can to succeed. I think we need to get back to that cotton sack and understand the great sacrifice that they made. We got too much at our access. We just got to do better.
Okay, I would you ask it there. Let me hit it one more time. I'm sorry, y'all, but that's all we can say. I mean, Jesus Christ Almighty, you have tuned in. You are a part of America's favorite podcast about Afro textured hair. It is me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. And then right over here, hey, Hair Savant, you picked the perfect name for her. Cheryl Morrow, the hair oracle. I don't even know where we can get this. Look at all my notes that I had. Y'all know I be spending all this time, pontificating, and then Cheryl just going, I just think it's just gonna go a certain way. And you know what? It doesn't really happen. But to your point of getting back to those cotton fields, right? Let's just take us all back. Remember, our book of the month is called Birth of a White Nation. And so I am here, and let me get my page right. Okay, here I'm on page 23. And she's into the historiography. And so what she's saying is each role was for a term of years ranging from 4 to 14. Historians Oscar and Mary Hanlon concluded that the first African people brought into the British colony at Jamestown in 1619 among the cargo, sold from the Dutch were slaves. And so she said, historians of the colonial period claim that the status of African Americans was unclear. And at this point, she wants to raise the topic of importance of the dispute of we were not even considered humans. You know what I'm saying? So when Cheryl says that we have to really think about from where we came from to where we are right now, we have to put this stuff into perspective. We look real weak out here, like she said, talking about I ain't got no capital. It was a time when we wasn't even considered humans, guys. We was just cargo. They brought us over here human beings. And she said, no. Those aren't human beings. They're not even slaves yet. Not yet. They're cargo. But yet they survive. We are the descendants of people who were not, before they were slaves, they were cargo. And we sitting up here talking about we can't get along. And Cheryl is saying, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That's right.
Is this how we gonna do this? And I was feeling really small about myself as a local, small hometown mom and pop cosmetologist. But I don't know about you, Shan, but I'm thinking about my business a lot differently given. And I repeat, if you just joined us, I'm just going to highlight the accomplishments of Dr. Willie Morrow. And this was the norm, not just for Dr. Morrow, but for all of our predecessors. He had a salon. He had a restaurant. He had a supply store. He had a newspaper. He had a radio station. He had distribution. He had a laboratory. He had a warehouse employing people for over 30 years. And again, and he was a little bit closer to cargo than he was a lot more closer from being called a box.
And let me say this, and I really truly want to speak to Mr. Harris, because I don't talk about myself. I know that I am not made of that kind of ilk, cut from that cloth of our predecessors. We're not even close. However, we are heirs. We're heirs. We're their heirs. We are their heirs. That means that we are not supposed to struggle like they did. That is the point. The point is to take what we've been given. Okay. Now, talk about what happened. Tell each other the truth. Tell each other the truth. If we lied, we lied. If we was being dishonest, we were being dishonest. If we were being disloyal, we were being disloyal. If we fell for the okie doke, like we did in 1987, fooling around with them damn politicians, whatever it is, we gonna say, okay, we're not gonna do that again. We're gonna do this, that, and the other, and go back to strong local markets. Okay, we can do Etsy, we can do Shopify. We need to get with younger people who know how to run these systems. Okay, and we build strong salon barber shops. Our barber shops can no longer be just barber shops. So we got to get with people like myself. We cannot open up salons without selling product. You must have a retail, resale, wholesale. You have to have sales. Okay? You have to have sales, because what a product can do, a product can make the profit margins on a product is much longer than your hands and feet and back. You can't, it's not sustainable. So you have to have a product that makes profit, because the product, you can put what? 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, what? A profit margin. Okay? So my point is that we have to sell combs. We have to sell fragrance. It's a beauty. So nothing is stopping you from doing that. And let me just say this. I believe the salon and us doing our versions of real local markets, of really great local products that are actually made in the city or made for that particular beauty parlor, barbershops, you got to do men's grooming. You cannot open up anymore with just doing. You got to do some selling. And I mean some fabulous shit. I'm talking about 8 and 9. And that is why Afro Science Summit created the business portion, so we can start selling and getting some ideas and some synergy, cosmetic couture, and doing all types of fashion. We're going to have to get real creative and revamp it. Wow.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but when I tell you, I'm gonna have to get this one. You know, we only on 4 episodes into the new year, okay? But we still have 91 episodes over on The Dumbest Ish, and then we got about 20 something over here. I'm gonna have to say right now, I'm gonna have to give this particular podcast a serious role. This was definitely the bomb. Cheryl, you deserve all kinds of ovations and everything like that. We really, really, appreciate you are bringing, to us, because like I came in with the stereotypical rhetoric. We don't get the opportunity. They're going to sell it. No one will invest in us. No one will loan the money, and we don't have the advancement. And what you have just learned today, all of that, as Shan just said, we have to stop doing this right here. We go. He said, we got to stop complaining, because we're just making excuses, guys. We have it, right here. We have it right here. And all we have to do, like she said, go upstairs, go downstairs, go next door, go over there, and talk to your people and handle your business, because that's what I do. And I was taking my situation a little bit lightly. I felt like, well, and that's how I would say, I just got this little small business and I just sell little products, but we ship every day. Mm-hmm. I ship out every day. My brother goes to the post office every day, and we ship products throughout the United States and the Virgin Islands, because those are U.S. territories. We sell. But I'm thinking a little bit differently now. When we come back on Monday, we were going to talk about alternative alternative terms that we can use to sell Black hair care products. Okay. And so I think this is the perfect move over on Monday because Cheryl just, she just said to us, we're going to have to be able to sell. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what is this Black hair care products? What problems is it really solving? So that we can begin as professionals, because remember on this channel we're talking to licensed professionals, educators, hair aficionados. Maybe you have your own business or whatever, so we got a different mindset over here, but we got to get over there. We got to ask those questions. How is this working? Oh, he ready. He said come on, count them in. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Damn, I love this. Woo! Woo, y'all be on fire. And sure, wait a minute. Let me digress right quick. Go ahead, Cheryl. Say you was right. Cheryl said, Ladosha, ask them to drop their emails in the chat. Oh, I don't think they would feel comfortable doing that. Cheryl was like, come on now, man. Come on, dog. Cut that out.
Well, but because first of all, I gotta communicate with you. I gotta get you. No. I ain't gotta get your mind right. I gotta get you in your memory. You know when we did that shit, right? We didn't always get it fucked up. We did do it right. We gotta get back to it. I gotta make you remember when you did it right. You gotta remember when your daddy did it right. You gotta remember when your parents did it right. And your progenitors. They set us up. We're heirs. We got to act like it. And it's all about, and it's supposed to be easy. We ain't supposed, hey, at the end of the day, one of the things that I want us to do, we're going to do just like the Arab kids do. We're going to get kiosk. We're going to have kiosks on rollers. We got to stop trying to do it. That y'all got to get that $500 a day money. Y'all got to get that $500 a day money. Why the Mexican out there selling tamales, making that $300 money, and y'all talking about, well, I can't get no loan. Damn that. Come on now. That's all I'm saying. We get some fabulous kiosks and shit. And at the end of the day, Shan, come on now. Y'all know some brothers that got carpenters and everything. We got the graphic people. You got your son. We don't use each other. We are talented people. The capital, now they use your ass as capital and cargo. Well, it's time for us to use each other that way. Now look, goddamn it, I know we know some carpenters, we know some graphic artists, we know us. We are our capital. We are our capital. They know it. We gotta know it. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.
That's it. And I just want to testify that what she's saying is very true. And my brother is in the chat, Sherryon Smith. That is my brother. And here you go. Ask a Dad. All right. Here we go. When I wanted to, I had my book, Curly Hair Adventures, and I wanted to sell some hair care products. So I was going to reach out to another company to see if I could sell their hair care products. And my customer said, to her point, go upstairs, go downstairs, to the left, to the right. She was to my left. My brother is in the chat. He can testify. And she said, why would you do that? And I said, well, I just spent all of my money. I did. I spent my last money on the book. I have no more money left. And I'm like, I don't have any money left. And so she said, well, I will invest. I will give you the money to start your own hair care line. To the left. To the left. I did not go anywhere. I did not get that loan. Because when I tried to get a loan for my business, they said no. So to the left, there she was. This woman came to me at this point for 2 years. She had never, ever given me a tip. She wouldn't even let me comb her hair out. I would roller set her hair, take the rollers out. She would walk out the door and never, ever, ever, ever gave me one tip. But I was always there on time, everything. And so I said, well, I appreciate that. But, you know, I've been sued. And I just don't. She said, girl, ain't nobody got time for that. I said, well, okay. I said, but the truth of the matter is, I don't even know when I can pay you back because I ain't never. She said, you know what, Ladosha? I've been coming to you for 2 years. And before that, all I heard was Ladosha, Ladosha, Ladosha. I know where you work at. I know you're going to give me back my money. Ain't nobody worried about that. And before I could say anything, my brother is in the chat. She left the black credit card on the table and told me to have a good day. That was about 7 years ago. And the Wright Hair Care products has just been going on a local level. Not quite $500 a day, but we're almost there. So like she said, it doesn't take all of that. And I've been able to do some wonderful things, you know, with that money. And so that woman, I call her every year on the anniversary. And you know what she does? She hangs up the phone. She doesn't want to hear no thank you. She just says, keep going. Stop calling me. You're good. Keep moving. But I will always thank her. So we have it, guys. We can do it. And we will be back next week. And we're going to talk about cosmetology education reimagined. And as a matter of fact, we're going to add to that cosmetology education and salon reimagined, because Cheryl just said we cannot just keep doing hair. We have got to get these products sold because we saw what her father was able to do. And I am a mere representation of what is possible. There are no words that we can thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Cheryl, do you want to close us out with any closing just thoughts about, you know, so I guess, I don't even guess, we can all conclude that the inequity is a bunch of bullfragger. It's getting into our minds that we don't have something. And Cheryl is saying, well, obviously, guys, given it takes 7 men and they still haven't caught up to Mansa Musa. Anywho, Cheryl, give us some last closing thoughts on this.
Well, I'm going to do my part and would love for one of our next podcasts for everybody to kind of jump on. If we can do kind of like and everybody can, you know, talk to each other and what they're going to be doing this year. Okay. And I'm going to be really concentrating on media to create a real industry textured magazine to where we can have our own industry magazine, so we can have our own conversation and dialogue also for advertising. And we don't have a real a strong. So whatever Mr. Harris is doing and what all of us are doing, we need to be able to have a stronger beauty and textured media magazine / newspaper or report, and then fuel it through the social media. Get us involved and connected and talking to each other and sharing our ideas to get that synergy and momentum going. So I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I think Mr. Abdullah, definitely, like Cheryl said, I think I know where he's going, because per Mr. Abdullah, he said the world has changed and we are in a new dynasty. And so it is going to take those types of efforts that Cheryl is talking about, magazines starting small. And Shan just talked about, you know, appreciating the small. And Shan said, we got to just, here he goes right here. He says, there are no small fish, just small thoughts. And right. So we got this, guys. So we're going to come back next week, and we're going to talk about cosmetology education and the hair salon reimagined. This is going to be absolutely wonderful. So all you salon owners and entrepreneurs, come on back in. In the meantime, we'll see you on Monday talking about the dumbest ish that people say about what else can we do with this thing called Black Hair Sales Products? And you know what we say when we are always signing out, right? We are always talking, oh, hold on, wait a minute. My brother said, all praise is due to the hair oracle. So with that, let me just here we go right here. There you go. All right, I got got me some new sound effects. Sure, y'all better take this stuff out of my hand. You know what I'm saying? All right. You know what we say right here? Ain't that right? Head full of hair. How we say when we signing out? We see y'all good people in the chat. All right. We always say what? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Good night, my wonderful people. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up button, like the show, and share alike. Have a good night.